Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Inept General coming to you with some more Total War Warhammer 2 news. And today we got a trailer for the Hunter and the Beast DLC announced for the 11th of September. I've already done a video of that, and if you'd like to check out my breakdown of all the information we know about that upcoming DLC, do check the top right hand corner now, or there'll be a link in the description below. But that means there is also some free DLC coming down the pipeline, and we've had an idea of what that is, and so let's dig into what we have coming up in terms of free DLC on the 11th of September. And there is a cause for celebration here, ladies and gentlemen, and that is that gor-rok, who people who are familiar with the channel will know I much anticipated for the last DLC, and when he didn't make an appearance and Tic-Tac-Toe did, I was a little bit disappointed. But we do have gor-rok, the White Lizard, the greatest individual fighter the Saurus have ever seen, and he will make an appearance on the battlefield. Not sure where he'll be starting as of yet. They have talked about making changes to Albion on the Immortal Empires map, so maybe he might be up there. We'll have to wait and see. But talking about changes to the Immortal Empires map, there are a few that will be coming with the free DLC, along with some Empire changes. And on the campaign map, we are getting the addition of the province of Souland. Now, for those of you who don't know, Souland was a long ago destroyed province of the Empire. It was destroyed by an invading war of Gorbad Ironclaw, which devastated the region so much so it couldn't afford to repair itself and kind of just got stuck in with Wiesenland. And those two just became one province instead of two. It looks like Creative Assembly are splitting them up and putting Balthasar Gelt there as a new starting position in the old world for him. So that's an interesting change. Lore-wise, it's a bit iffy, if you ask me. There's no real reason to restore Souland, but there you go. They're restoring it, and it's an interesting aspect that maybe you have to work your way up to or something, but maybe just they wanted another province in the map. Now, another thing they're doing is they are making more mountain passes between the Empire and the lands around it. So it's a bit more accessible. You maybe don't have to go around the whole map to try and get into some parts of the Empire. And in these mountain passes, there are going to be forts that the Empire builds. Now, in my mind, lore-wise, the most heavily fortified pass the Empire ever had was Blackfyre Pass. The pass that sort of splits the Empire from the Border Princes, as well as the hordes of greenskins in the Badlands of the Warhammer world. It has often been sieged, but it should have a heavy fort in it, and these will work very much like the gate battles on Ulthuan that the High Elves have. So you'll get a pre-built fortification, you'll probably have a garrison in there as well that you can probably upgrade over time, but that is what it's looking like. You'll obviously be able to fortify it with extra armies, but that's an interesting approach to take, and I actually really like it. It's a bit more lore-friendly to the way the Empire is actually defended, and it will give you a lot more opportunities to attack in on the Empire if you're wanting to do that as other factions as well. So for me, that's a very positive change, those mountain passes, and I can't wait to see what those new fort battles look like in the game. As I mentioned before, Albion is getting a bit more of a region. What that means exactly, I'm not entirely sure in terms of the way they worded it, but looking forward to see what they do with Albion there. And we've also been told there will be a new Greenskin and Wood Elf factions that will be appearing in the Drakwold and the Wastelands. Now, if I was going to guess, the Wood Elves will be the Wood Elves of Lorelon Forest, which are typically thought of as being between Midland and Nordland, somewhere around there. So that might be the representation towards the Wastelands, maybe, because on the way they've done their map, it looks that the Wastelands bite into a little bit of where Nordland actually has territory. So that's maybe what we'll get in the Wastelands in terms of their new faction. And the Greenskins are well known to have a massive tribe of goblin spider riders that live within the Drakwold forest itself, so near Middenland. So I think that's what they're going to establish, that tribe and the Lorelon forest of Wood Elves. Do check out my video on Nordland to learn more about it. So those are the two things I think we'll be getting from then. And the last thing I want to mention is that the officer system is out the window, which is a bit of a shame. I kind of liked it, but instead they're going to introduce an elect account system. So all in all, there'll be 13 elect account positions. That is including Sylvania and Souland now. In terms of that, and it looks like some way of negotiating around having to go to war to confederate all the Empire provinces, so you can do tasks for each other and sort of up your ranking. And it looks like there's two resources you can use to do that: prestige and imperial authority. And if you use these properly, you'll be able to make life a lot easier for you and not necessarily have to go to war with the other Empire elect accounts just to consolidate the Empire in the game. So it's interesting to see what that will look like, and stay tuned to the channel. So once they reveal it, I'll do a breakdown of it for you guys right here. Now, with that all covered, what I'm going to have a quick talk about here is maybe the future of Total War Warhammer 2. I mean, we're very much towards the end of life, but this new Lord DLC pack, where they took one old race and one of the races in Total War Warhammer 2 and put a Lord pack of them both together, is very interesting, I think. And hopefully we'll see a bit more of this. The one we all really want to see, I think, that we've been calling since Total War Warhammer 2 was announced, was Eltharion versus Grom the Paunch. Mighty enemies who have long hated each other. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about that story, do check out my Grom the Paunch lore video popping up in the top right hand corner now, or you'll find a link in the description below if you want to know a bit more about their rivalry. But there are some gaps in the High Elves roster I'd love to see filled, and a couple of gaps in the Greenskin one as well that would be great to see filled in. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get one more of these. But looking at the future DLC, it looks like we've got our Legendary Lord. Now, I don't know if this will count towards the second aspect on that list, which is the Old World update, whether the playing around with the Immortal Empires campaign map counts as an Old World update or not, or that's at least another DLC they have planned a little bit down the line. And fingers crossed it is that Eltharion the Grim versus Grom the Paunch, Grim and the Paunch, or something like that. Looking forward to that. Fingers crossed for the future. Hopefully, now that Three Kingdoms is out the way for Creative Assembly, we will see a bit more rapidity on the DLC incoming for Total War Warhammer 2, and run up to the eventual notification of Total War Warhammer 3 coming out, which I'm sure we are all looking forward to. But that's about it from me. I hope you guys are excited about this. I am. It's great to have a bit more going on with the Empire. But as always, guys, a huge thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you all on the next one. Alright guys, bye.